And since there's not as many people on as usual, I can start, going more in depth with questions. As I said in the beginning, the more time that goes on, the less people that will come on the webinars, the more in depth I can go in questions and stuff. So, all right, so this is from Graham. I can't make tonight. Let's see. He said in my video, because I shot the video on, PBNs, clearing it up, how you can link out together and all that. He said we should only have one OG link per PBN. I don't know what OG is. Probably outbound, he meant to say. You don't have to have only one outbound link, authority link. I use more than that sometimes. Okay, pointing to a money site. Yeah, just one link per URL. If you add more to the same URL, you're kind of wasting the link. I mean, you're not wasting it, but there's just no point in doing it. All right, you can do it if you want. Supposedly, what happens is they take the first anchor text you use, and that's what gets counted. So if I write up an article and I link to the same URL 10 times, supposedly what happens is they take that first anchor text and they use that. All right, and the other ones kind of get ignored as far as that goes. So he's asking why don't I do that? It's more because it's just, again, it's kind of pointless. I mean, you can do it, but again, you're not going to get like extra credit for those other links. Alright, so in my early days with OMG, I set up a money site. I'm going to just read this question because it's a little harder to see for you guys probably. I set up a money site where I have 3 links per PBN going to the same money site URL. I had to use more than one per PBN as I have a limited number of PBN sites and needed more link juice to rank. Secondly, I am currently finding that whatever I do, I just cannot get to the number 1 slot in any of my niches. Some are very low count, 250 searches per month, but still can only get to number 4 or 5. The cost of getting enough PBNs to rank higher is for me is becoming too much, especially as I'm not generating any income. So I would just make sure you check on your anchor text. You got to play with your anchor text and your title tags, and also depends what your URL is. And just because it's 250 per month doesn't mean that it's not hard. I go after terms that are 250 per month that I'm not number 1 for. It depends who's up top. What the search term is, what niche it's in. A lot of stuff in the health niche. It could be what looks like easy keywords, and then you got Wikipedia ranking, you got WebMD ranking, and those can be sometimes hard to beat out. And again, it also depends on the length of the search. If it's, the longer the search is, the easier it is to rank for in most cases because you can optimize for that. And you can build an anchor text with that specific anchor in there. So it also depends how long it is. So, without more information, I can't tell you, if it's easy or hard like you're saying. But just because it's a low count doesn't mean it's easy. All right, and also depends on the niche and the strength of your PBNs, what you're using for your anchor text. But also remember my post in the Facebook group how I went over that PBN links are taking longer to fully kick in, it seems. Where I'll put in a link, and sometimes they get a big boost right away, sometimes a little boost right away, sometimes a medium boost right away, and then further down the line I'll get another boost, whether it be big, little, medium. So just wait for those to fully kick in as well. Alright, so can you please cover the following approach to keyword research? If you find longer tail keywords and then check them in all in title, is this a guide to their rankability? I mean, it can help. That's kind of like looking for PBNs where, the page rank isn't the end all be all. That's just one of the things that helps us determine if it's going to be hard to rank for. All right. If keywords have a lower volume of results using all in title, does this necessarily make them easier to rank? Not necessarily. Again, it depends on the niche and all that stuff. I mean, for the most part, I guess you can say it does. If you see a lower number, it's better news, but it doesn't necessarily mean a low number is easy. All right. In competitive markets, I watched some training recently that said find many such keywords and rank one page for each term on a single site or across many sites. They felt these terms should take less to rank them. As an example for you and not for the public. Oh, I didn't. Do e-cigarettes cause cancer? Has 390 monthly searches in Google and only gets 364 results in all in title. Should this therefore be easier to rank? I'm I mean, not necessarily. Again, because it's talking about cancer for one thing, so that's going to probably have a lot of authority sites in there. So let's go to Google. I just want to put this in quotes. And look, look who's ranking: theweek.com, daily.co.uk, answers.yahoo, Wikipedia, CASA, TD Smoke, Vaporview, Online PR News. So a lot of bigger sites, especially up top here, the Week, Daily, Yahoo, and Wikipedia are the top four. Anytime you see something that has like cancer in it or something like that, it's going to be very hard to rank for, and it's probably not going to be worth it. I mean, and just think of this keyword here: do e-cigarettes cause cancer? That's not really a keyword you would want to go after. All right, so and sorry, I didn't see you said no. This is not for the public, but you probably you don't want to go after this anyways because people most likely aren't going to type this in to do a purchase. Okay, people are more typing this in to do research. All right. So a person who's typing this in, they're not ready to buy. They may be like in the process, like, okay, first I'm going to find out if they're safe, and then I'm going to go and search and find out, okay, I find out that they may or may not cause cancer. I decide to believe they don't. So now I'm going to go look for the right cigarette. So then they're going to go type in another search term, which e-cigarette is the best, or what's the best e-cigarette, something like that. All right, so a search term like this, especially for how hard it's going to be. It's not that it's going to be hard to rank, but compared to what you're going to get out of it, it's not worth trying to rank for something like this. And let me just not put it in quotes and see who shows up. And again, if you type it without quotes, number one is cancer.org. Okay. Again, remember how I said they're talking about cancer? I just know from experience that anything with cancer in it, or like a big medical term, that the front page is going to be filled with huge authority sites. Okay. Because they don't want some affiliate site telling people about cancer. They want big authority sites. And there's cancer.org, number one. Penlive.com is number two. FHCRC.org, so that's probably like some type of organization. The Week is number four. Washington Paper, Fox News, Today.com, Cancer.net. So a lot of larger authority sites filling up this, which is what I expect. So you're going to be filling with a lot of big authority sites for a term that is most likely is going to give you nothing. Again, people are not searching this to buy; they're searching this to do some research. So just think of that anytime you do your keyword selection. And let's see. And yeah, I think long tail keywords are a great way to go, but not keywords like this. Always think about why someone is searching this. In this case, it's to do research. Okay, we want people to be searching it because I'm ready to buy. Green smoke versus V2 cigs. That person is saying, okay, I know about these two e-cigarettes. I know they're both good. I want to compare them and pick one of them. Or which e-cigarette is best. Okay, that person is in buy mode. They're ready to buy, and they're trying to figure out what's the best deal, what's the best cigarette to buy. So stuff like that is good long tail keywords, like which e-cigarette should I buy, stuff like that. Opposed to this, which is again is research stuff. All right, so let's take care of the questions that were not live. Now let's go to the live questions. I did record, right? All right, good. All right, so Brian is first here. I use thesaurus and my brain both, Brian. Yeah, and you can do that. And you can always add a word on. I try to use my exact keyword as little as possible. I like to stay around I like to stay under 5% if I can. Again, it really depends on how many links are there. If you have 5 links and 1 out of 5 is your exact, that's 20%. but the more you go up in links, the less I want that number to be. Okay, so 20% is fine if you only have 5 links, because that's 1 out of 5. But if you have 100, you don't want 20 out of 100. I would maybe want 2 or 3 out of 100, 4 or 5 max probably. So when I start getting with that many links, I want to be down near like 5%. But yeah, to find keywords, you can just like if you type in best e-cigarette, you can type this in the Google keyword tool, and then you can also come down here. Okay, so you can do this as an anchor text. Best e-cigarette on the market. It's going to help you rank for best e-cigarette, and it's also going to help you rank for best e-cigarette on the market, which is a long tail keyword. A lot of people probably won't try to go after that. So with you using the exact anchor text for that, you'll probably rank very well for that. Okay, and then you also help yourself rank for best e-cigarette. So I do stuff like that. You can do best best e-cigarette reviews year, the best e-cigarette with year. So I mean, there's tons and tons of things that you can add for your anchor text. All right, let's see. Anders. Anders, I would email David. It's David at omgmachines.com. He does all the structuring, so he'll let you know the best way to go for that. The phone number? What do you mean by the phone number service ID? Let me know about that. Cheryl. I mean, it depends what you're trying to do, Cheryl. If you're, building like a brand, like, we did OMG Machines. When we got OMG Machines, we got the .com, .net, and .org, I believe. We got all three because we're building a brand. All right, if you're just getting a normal website, you just need one. So it depends on what purpose you're getting it for. All right, let me go get a new screenshot. Can you use any 404 redirect? I don't know what you mean by that, Rich. I think you're talking about link juice keeper. I mean, link juice keeper just it says if this page no longer exists, redirect the link to the home page. From Dave. Nah, Dave. I mean, you can really do a lot of links on a PBN. I never even come even close to what we consider tapping out probably. I mean, just think about it. There's pages out there on the internet that have thousands of links on them. Even like regular organic sites that have thousands of links on them. So you really could go over what I say. I just kind of say that as like a safety measure, and the fact that I go nowhere near that, so I don't really have the testing data for it. But just what I see on the internet, I mean, you can do a lot of links and get away with it. So, from Mike. You can start building it now, Mike. That would just help you make them stronger. Oh, OG is outgoing. Thanks, Heidi. Bob. I usually just install that plugin Axomet and just let that do its work, and I don't worry about the comments. From Patrick. I mean, you can do that, Patrick, but I just use them directly to my money sites. I don't do PBN to PBN. From Anthony. Can I only send links from one article? Check the video I recently did, Anthony, about that. I did about 3 weeks ago. If you got like Slate.com, cars, page one, whatever, that would, I recommend no more than 3 links from one PBN, and you can go higher than that, but again, that's just to be safe, and you just don't want to keep going over that because you can run into trouble. So, you could do like, that's, you know, URL 1, then maybe you have site.com, you want to link to cars, that's 2, and site.com, maybe you have like, um, from the same article, you probably wouldn't want to link to something different than cars because it's going to be about a cars article, and then you do like page 2. So yeah, you could do all 3 of those in the same article. But then I wouldn't link to this site again from that PBN just because you already have 3 properties going to it. With a tool like Ahrefs shows it really well. And I want to show you why I recommend not doing more than 3. I don't know, let's just go find omgmachines.com. Alright, let's go down. Alright, so if you look here, they take all this into effect, where they have, total links and also total referring domains and total. This is why we use unique IPs. If you have 119 referring domains and you only had like one different IP, that means all of the sites on the same IP are linking to you, which would do you no good, right? Like they know that something's going on there. So that's, this is why we use different IPs. And this is also why I recommend not going over 3, because if you keep doing like 3, 3, 5, 10, I'm talking about links going to a PBN or links going to a money site from one PBN. These numbers are going to inflate, or I'm sorry, this number is going to inflate, and this number is going to keep deflating. All right, and the more difference there is between these, then the higher chance you have of getting hit with something where they're saying, okay, that's unnatural. So that's why I recommend keeping it at 3. And again, it's not that you can't go over 3. If you did a whole bunch of 1s, yeah, you could do a 5 or a 6. All right, but I just kind of say the 3 to make that even, kind of like that average. All right, sometimes I'll do 1, sometimes I'll do 2, sometimes 3. Rarely do I go over 3, and I don't even really talk about that just because that goes into to more complicated stuff. But if you've done a whole bunch of 1s, yeah, you can do 4s, 5s, 6s, but just don't do it too much. We're just trying to keep these numbers in balance. We don't want these to be too far off. And this also looks like I have a site-wide link, so this looks, grayer than it is, but that's what we're talking about here. And that's why I recommend that. Send me a request, Rich. I'm usually the one that deals with the Facebook group.